Some cases just stick with you. They haunt us, not just because of the tragedy, but because of the questions they leave behind. Questions about the very systems we're supposed to trust. Today, we're going to dig into why a crime that crosses a simple line on a map becomes almost impossibly difficult to solve.
So our story starts right here, a quiet little resort town on the Portuguese coast, a family on vacation. It was an evening that started out completely normal and ended in an absolute nightmare, a mystery that even now is still unfolding.
This is the question, isn't it? This is what's at the very heart of the Madeleine McCann case. It's the one that cuts through all the noise, all the theories, all the speculation, and really, it's the question that forces us to take a hard look at the cracks in our global law enforcement.
To really get a handle on the challenges we're about to unpack, we have to start with the case itself. The case that became a global symbol for all of these problems.
Okay, so here are the core facts, the things we know for sure. 3-year-old Madeleine McCann disappears from her bed. Her parents are at a tapas restaurant just a stone's throw away with friends. What happened next was this unbelievable international search that turned one family's private horror into this massive public saga that absolutely captivated and, let's be honest, divided the entire world.
And that right there, that's why we're looking at this today. The search for Madeleine didn't just turn up clues about what might have happened to her, it exposed these huge systemic weaknesses. It showed us exactly what happens when a 21st century crime slams right into a 20th century policing structure.
All right, so the very first, and honestly the biggest hurdle in pretty much any international case, comes down to one single word that creates a world of problems: jurisdiction. Think of it this way, a police officer's badge, it's incredibly powerful, but only inside its designated area. A city, a state, a country. The second a case, a suspect, or even a victim crosses a border, poof, that power basically vanishes. A whole other police force, with its own rules, its own methods, and its own priorities, has to take over. So you can see the problem right here on this slide. It's a mess. You've got the Portuguese police, who are officially in charge of the crime scene. Then you have British authorities, who are under just immense pressure back home. And on top of that, you've got leads popping up all over the place: Spain, Belgium, Morocco. So who's actually running the show? The answer, confusingly, was kind of everyone and no one at the same time.
And wow, this just lays it all out, doesn't it? The problem wasn't just about logistics, it was about totally different ways of thinking. The Portuguese police, they were bound by these strict judicial secrecy laws, and they focused early on the parents. The UK police, totally different culture. They're used to using the media, and they immediately treated it like a stranger abduction. They weren't just working in different countries. In a way, they were working on 2 completely different cases, using 2 different rulebooks. Okay, so let's peel back the next layer of this onion. Because even when different police forces want to cooperate, the system itself can be the biggest enemy.
Right. So critical, time-sensitive information doesn't just get zapped from one police force to another. No, it has to go through this winding maze of official requests, translations, different computer systems, all these processes that exist for good reasons, to respect national sovereignty, but man, they can be painfully slow. And in a missing person case, every single hour matters. But bureaucracy, it thinks in days and weeks.
Just look at this. A request for one single file from a key witness can take almost a month. A month! By the time the UK team even gets that information, the trail could be completely ice cold. Now, multiply that delay by hundreds of different requests, and you start to see how an investigation can just get paralyzed by its own paperwork.
So, next up, we have to talk about the one thing that made this case unlike almost any other: the intense global media spotlight. And let me tell you, it was both the investigation's greatest tool and its heaviest anchor.
On the one hand, the media attention was incredible. It made sure nobody anywhere forgot Madeleine's face. But on the other hand, it meant every single theory, no matter how wild, got blasted out to millions of people. It created so much pressure that police were forced to chase down bogus leads. And it turned that tension between the UK and Portuguese police into this huge public fight.
And this was the result. Over 12,000. That's how many potential sightings of Madeleine McCann were reported from all over the globe. The investigators had to sort through this literal mountain of noise, hoping to find one tiny, credible signal. It's an almost impossible task.
And really, this quote just says it all. A factual police file might take a month to get across a border, but a false rumor on social media, that could circle the entire planet in an hour. The investigation was constantly just playing catch up with the story.
So, after all of that, what's the big takeaway here? What has this one single tragic case really taught us about the state of global justice today?
Well, here's the thing. These aren't just Madeleine McCann problems. These are the fundamental challenges that pop up in almost every major international investigation. You name it, human trafficking, cybercrime, terrorism, these same 4 hurdles appear over and over and over again.
And this is why this story is still so important, why it matters so much beyond the search for one lost little girl. It's this stark reminder that while criminals have gone global, while crime is instantaneous, the systems we have to fight it are often still stuck in the past, local, slow, and divided by those lines on a map.
And that's the question we're left with, isn't it? As our world gets more connected every single day, how do we make sure our systems of justice don't get left behind? It's a huge question, and for now, it's one that doesn't have an easy answer.